I need to be alone. I need to find myself, be comfortable in my own skin before I can love someone else. That's what I told him. That's what I believe, that when it's right, it's right. And what if I found that already? In the unlikeliest of places, in the dark of my room, behind the buzz and clicks, I can feel you. What if this was meant to be, written in the stars for you, me? Or we could fall apart at the seams and float upon, meaning like this was all nothing. And I'm so surprised. What are these butterflies? Give me the word and I'll make that drive. I'll be there in 5. What if we had met while I was in LA? Would we have something to do? Or passed on the street and never knew that we loved all the same rocket summer tunes? And what if this was meant to be, written in the stars for you, me? Or we could fall apart at the seams and float upon, meaning like this was all nothing. And I'm so surprised. What are these butterflies? Give me the word and I'll make that drive. I'll be there in 5. What if this was meant to be, written in the stars for you and me? Where we could fall apart at the seams and float upon, meeting like this was all a dream. What if this was meant to be, written in the stars for you, me? Or we could fall apart at the seams and float upon, meeting like this was all nothing. And I'm so surprised. What are these butterflies? Give me the word and I'll make that drive. I'll be there in 5.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Music Community Podcast. I am Random Girl Singing, here with my co-hosts, Doc Bizzle and Dan Drumstone.
Hi. Hi. We're so glad you're back.
It's really good to see you guys. It's great to be back. And we have a really special guest today. We have got Tammy BlackMedia in the house. She is also an excellent singer-songwriter here on Twitch.
Yes.
I'm happy to be back, you guys. And then what a great person to be back to chat with and everything. How's everybody doing?
Good. Yeah, Tammy, thank you so much. I know, for those of you that don't know, Tammy, where exactly are you right now in the world?
I'm in East London right now.
That's so cool. Like, we were trying to, like, I think I hit you up right before you left, and then, but you went out of your way to make sure all your audio set up and everything was good to do this. So thank you. We're very excited.
Oh, I'm very excited. Thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah. So what do you do on Twitch? We'll start there. Like, on your channel. I know you're a music streamer, but
troll mostly.
Yeah.
No, I stream music and chit chat.
Nice.
A little eating.
Yeah, well, you sing, play guitar, piano, and all that stuff. Where did your musical journey kind of start when you were younger?
Just growing up?
Yeah.
I started playing piano when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and then flute when I was 10, guitar when I was 12, and then I really wanted to be in a band, so I was in like a horrible punk rock band.
Yes.
From when I was like 12 or 13. Then I was in like a pop band when I was 15 to 16 years old.
Yeah.
And then I went to college for economics, and I didn't play music then. And then I worked in accounting and finance afterwards and just wanted to be playing music. And I wrote songs throughout that time period, but I never really played anywhere, and I couldn't gig because of my work schedule.
Yeah.
And then I just came up to a point in my career where like my next promotion was looming, and I just realized that I didn't want it and that I didn't want to be doing it.
Yeah.
So I spent a year working and doing music, both, until I could do music full time. And that happened last year. So just right before I started on Twitch, I went full time gigging.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's awesome. I love that. Like, you want, like, so when you were, I want to say, like, a business, you know, when you were in that field.
A businesswoman?
Were you just not happy?
A
or
professional.
is it just something that you just didn't enjoy? Or
I think that's the problem. Was it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad life. I was very fortunate, and I felt very grateful for the life I had and the education I had and the job opportunities I had. And I loved my coworkers, and the work was fine. And I didn't hate it, and I wasn't unhappy, you know, like, and I think that was what made it so hard to leave in a way, because like I had nothing to complain about, you know, like I had a good job. I had a good standard of living, but I just wished that I was playing music the whole time. That's all I wanted to be doing the whole time. Or if I were like in training or in a meeting, I'd be writing lyrics like on the notepad of my laptop. About something completely different.
that's really cool.
So what's your favorite instrument to play then? If you've played flute, you said piano, guitar, what do you enjoy the most?
Guitar is my favorite. Yeah.
Wait, did you say she plays flute?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've never seen you play the flute. That's awesome.
Flute is my most like trained instrument.
Oh,
like
that's interesting.
Like if I had to like compete, not that you know, all those famous flute competition TV shows people go on. But like that would be the one that I'm most technically proficient in. Guitar is kind of just like messing around, and it feels nice to play, you know, but I'm not good at it technically speaking.
Tammy _BlackMedia. I mean, what exactly would you say BlackMedia is? Is it a group of friends?
Yes,
is it
that's
a band?
the best question ever.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so my friend Sunny founded BlackMedia. He works in entertainment. I think he founded it while him and Jake, who both stream on here under Sunny _BlackMedia, SUNNY _BlackMedia. They worked in a lot of media and production and music in Thailand, actually, probably about 10 years ago for a good amount of time. Oh, wow. And then kind of moved to San Francisco. Now they're San Francisco based, but they have projects in Thailand, San Francisco, LA, and some other places. But so I've known him since high school. Jake was the drummer in my band in high school. Not the punk band, but like the pop band. And yeah, but he was originally into metal, and then he kind of had like his other bands were all metal bands, but then he had this little like pop project. And he introduced me to Sunny, and Sunny's the one that completely inspired me to pursue music and never pushed me to do it, but always made me know that it was a possibility when everything else in my life was telling me that it wasn't a possibility. He was pretty much the one person that not only said it was, but showed that it was, because he was able to, and all his artists were able to, you know, and that's sometimes that's what it takes, is just, you know, like that belief that it's possible. And he definitely was the one that showed me that and inspired me in that way that it could be.
That's amazing. Now, how is BlackMedia is the BlackMedia, is it the Black Pack, the Black Media Pack?
So
I think
Pack.
Yeah,
we'll go by the Black Pack. I think the official company, like the incorporated name, is BlackMedia, like incorporated.
Okay.
And then Black Pack is kind of like an informal like crew name.
Yeah, that's like you guys and your
We're the
friends
Black
and
Pack,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, that's your crew. Okay, cool. Are you guys mostly like a new media thing, like streaming, online media, live music, or both?
He's both. He's always
Okay,
on the
yeah.
forefront of everything. He was the one that told me about Twitch. He was the one. I remember when I was just starting, it was last February, and I was gigging all the time. And I was saying, I need to have an online presence. I should make like YouTube videos. And he was like, oh, no. Like, let me tell you what's up. Like, don't waste your time. Just stream on Twitch. And I was like, what do I need? What do I do? And we just went out one day, bought all the equipment in one day. I just got like a Guitar Center credit card and a Best Buy credit card and all my streaming equipment. And then the next day I watched YouTube tutorials for like 12 hours on like what OBS was and how to set everything up. And then the next day I went live, and then and then I haven't stopped.
And the
That's
rest
so
is
cool.
history. And now a year later, you're living your dreams. You're in London right now.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to Twitchcon. You're playing live music all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's-
crazy. And it's all
It
thanks
is.
to Twitch. Twitch
So-
and
It's
Sunny.
amazing.
So really quick. So you started last January, February, you said, right?
Yeah, February.
And how far before that was it when you started the transition from your old job?
It was probably about a year, 6 months to a year of
Yeah.
doing both,
Got it. Okay.
I would say. Yeah.
Because
and then
you gig and you're doing all that stuff even now, like on top of
Yeah.
like Twitch and all that. So were you hitting that pretty hard for like that year or the year before you started Twitch?
Yeah. The year before I started Twitch, I was gigging a lot, like 4 times a week, probably.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes more, and sometimes like multiple, just because I just didn't know how to make a career out of music,
Yeah.
So that's the only way I could think of. And I also didn't turn down any gigs, and I didn't, like, if someone let me play for free, I would play for free. Like, I didn't have like, you have to pay me this much. It was just like, I will play anywhere I can possibly play and meet as many people as I can possibly meet.
That's awesome. Yeah, I recommend that to anybody that's starting out, like performing or in the real, actual world music. Like that's all I did it for, like probably 3 years. Any gig, you play kids' birthday parties or whatever. It's just like just to get your name out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're the best audience too.
yeah. But
And
so
older people.
So when you got on Twitch, because you've been doing it for about a year, like pretty, like you committed to it. How far into that did it really hit you that this is like a thing that's growing? And
I don't know. I didn't start altering my gigging schedule until like the end of last year.
mm-hmm.
So I just did both. And Twitch is a lot more unpredictable. So I don't think I could just do full-time
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah,
But I think the combination of the two make it very viable.
Yeah.
So, but I have scaled back gigs because of Twitch.
yeah,
So
Could-
I'll probably do like 2 a week now instead of 4 a week.
yeah. Because you'll stream sometimes for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
really
insane.
like long streams.
I
I
do
like
too.
I
Yeah.
like your brain kind of adjusts to it, and then I like being in that world, and I like hanging out with chat and everybody for like a really long time. I feel like we've got to know each other really well when we're hanging out for that length of time.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
just
imagine
like
at that point.
it's like a sleepover versus getting coffee with someone. Like, I'm a sleepover kind of girl, not in like a weird, like a slumber party.
I feel like 3 hours feels like a short stream once you get used to those longer streams routinely. It's like I can't go live for under 4 hours now and have it feel like complete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have to it's hard. And I've seen other people struggle with content creation. Like, what about that on the fly? I just want to go live for 15 minutes. Do I bother with Twitch or do I go to a different platform or which one do I choose? I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, what is your guys' approach? I mean, do you guys even leverage your, like Tammy, you have a pretty good Instagram following. Do you leverage that for live stuff or
I've
is
never
that
used
mostly-
Instagram Live. I'm a very faithful Twitch girlfriend. Like I don't do anything on anywhere else.
I'm gonna like make a meme of like with Tammy's face and have Twitch and then the other girl. You know what's that meme? Like the guy that looks back.
The guy looking back.
Have like Mixer and Twitch.
Other streaming platforms.
I was thinking, do you remember that old meme of that girl, like the obsessed girlfriend meme?
Oh yeah.
Like that should But no, that's I haven't. Today I was IRL streaming with the Luck and we went live for about 45 minutes on my channel. So that's kind of a small stream. That was fun.
Yeah, I just recently started. My sister was like, you need an Instagram. You're so old. I'm like, fine. So I did the Instagram thing and like started that. There's a new one that I hopped on yesterday called like
Vero.
Yeah,
I've seen like
everybody's talking about it.
I know. What is it? The past like 24 hours, I've seen like 5 people post about Vero now, guys. I don't know, but apparently it's got to be something because with the algorithm, which is why everybody likes it because people are saying things like, hey, you guys, you'll actually get updates from people you want to.
Yeah.
Like in actual...
Is it just chronological again, maybe?
Probably, because Instagram, everybody is in a tizzy because Instagram's not chronological anymore.
I preferred it chronological.
I get so confused. I think I'm at that stage in my life where I'm just old now and stuff will come up. I'm like,
how old are you?
I'm 35.
I don't want 6 platforms.
Oh, girl, come on. You're spring chicken.
But like
I'm old. Why do I want to put effort into it? What am I going to get out of Instagram?
Like I enjoy like certain things about it, and I like with streaming and stuff. It is helpful, but using all that to your advantage, you know, when you go live, like the story thing is cool. Like instead of like having 100 posts on your page that you've went live, you just do it in the story thing. And Tammy, yours are cool. Like I don't know, Tammy's like, you know, she'll be eating and then playing. You know, you're like all over it.
It's just eating.
Yeah. So I live vicariously through you sometimes. I'm like, wow.
I love Steph's Instagram. I've cried too. She had a video on her Instagram of her daughter. She's playing a song with her daughter. And I was like literally crying and questioning all my life decisions of not having a family yet.
Duh. Well,
really
it's a lot less time for music, but Twitch makes it a lot more flexible. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
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 It's like I put all my family stuff on Instagram, I guess. Like I look at social media, like some people work to try to keep a routine presence on all of them, and I think that's probably the smart way to do it. I just sort of like sort things into it, like, you know, all of my business stuff, you know, like quote business, like stream stuff is on Twitter, and then sometimes I'll put like behind the scenes kind of stream stuff and like life stuff on Instagram, and then between there I don't really try with other stuff.
I love yours. I'm a big fan.
Aw,
I'm a big RGS fan. I'm a big fan of all of you guys, but like RGS I watched very, very early before I streamed.
I found you early too.
You did.
That was one of my next questions is like, who did like once you found out about Twitch and Sonny kind of, you know, did he suggest you like look at anyone, or did some of the first people that inspired you that you came across?
Yeah, he did. Well, he just said to browse music and gaming. So I browsed music. The first person I actually ever watched was Lord Kirk, and he does music. He's not a music streamer, but he was at the top of the music directory because he's a RuneScape streamer, so he had more viewers. And so I watched him, and I really liked him. And then I found RGS just from searching, but I could never catch her when she was live, so I just would watch her VODs. And like really want to interact, but it never happened for a really long time. So yeah, they were the 2 first music streamers that I saw. I'm trying to think who the third was, but they're both very influential, I think.
Nice.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say you kind of started around the same time that Megan did.
Yeah. Megan started a couple weeks after me.
You guys are kind of twinsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both started in February. So, she raided me, like probably one of her first raids, because one of her mods was like, this is what you do. Like, go find someone else that does what you do. And then I didn't even know, I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, oh, this is so cool. So, and she flew up and visited me because she was in Long Beach then. And like
Right.
within a month of us both starting streaming, she flew to San Francisco and we duo streamed like right off the bat, and then went to Twitch headquarters together. So that was it was really fun to be able to like meet somebody so quickly that started at the same time and kind of grow together and keep in touch and see each other. So
Yeah. That's one of my favorite pictures, I think, from like 88-Bit's house at Twitchcon. It's like you, Raquel, and Megan, and like Esme's on her phone. But it was like you guys were all like really close, and I didn't know who you were until Twitchcon, you know, and Subtract Cat, he's in chat. He's like, you don't know Tammy, you don't know. Yeah. And I was like, no. And he's like, oh my gosh. Like, he's like, you need to check her out and all these people. So Twitchcon for me, it was like, I got to meet you there also, but like,
yeah,
I discovered, you know, all these people that maybe, you know, the times that I watch, I just didn't connect with, or, you know, so.
It's hard sometimes, especially unless you have time to really browse music. I'm sure you guys are the same way, where it's like, if you have time, you're probably going to be streaming.
Right.
And then you are ending stream because you have to like run to your next thing or eat or do something like that. So and then you see the person you host and you just kind of stay in the same bubble of people.
Yeah.
So it's rare that I get to just pop into the music directory and find people, but I love doing it. It's so fun to do.
Yeah. Yeah. If I hear that, if I get like some free time, that's like my new hobby, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you got to find guests for the podcast.
Yeah. We need to do, like, we were joking, I think with Leyland, like, we need to just have like double up, or I don't know. There's so many good people that we won't because our schedules are nuts, but like, there's just so many talented people. It's insane. We're very fortunate to have as many people in the community that we do. But
you're so enthusiastic about everybody, though. It's like important to have those folks too. You know what I mean? Like the folks that bring people together.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. But Doc, you asked how our first stream went. I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. What was that like? Your first stream? Like, were you terrified? Were you just like kind of like giddy? I mean, how did that go? I'm just curious how your first stream went.
I really enjoyed it. It's Twitch, and the format that we have is so perfect in that, like, if someone were to ask me before Twitch, like, what is your all-time like happy place or favorite thing to do, would be when you're with friends and some people are like throwing out songs and you know the same song and then you play it together. You know, like, that's just one of the coolest things in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what streaming is. And so I was just excited that people, I don't know if I had a song list at that. I think I did. I had a song list, but I didn't have commands or anything. But yeah, I just really enjoyed myself. I remember after stream, like during stream, I didn't think anything was weird. I was just like trying to multitask a lot. And then after stream, my brain like readjusting to real life. I remember like feeling the difference in my brain and being like, uh-oh, like my brain's still going at a different pace. But now I don't know what's happening any of the time anymore. No, I do remember just having to like readjust, and yeah, it was different, but I loved it and I couldn't wait to do it again. But I was scared. I was like, ooh, I hope I have to be careful because I can see how this could be like addicting. And I think someone like I can easily get addicted to things, I feel like. And you really have to make sure you're in a good, secure place, I think, psychologically.
Yeah.
Or else it's really easy. There are a lot of traps or for me, there were a lot of traps that I could see myself falling into, just like validation wise and like endorphin wise.
Yeah. That's very
and just
true.
To stay stable. And I could feel things, I think, triggering in my brain that reminded me of other things in life that like I could overdo. Mm-hmm. Like I kind of liked it too much in certain ways, and I had to be like, okay, how do I pace myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether I did that, I don't know.
And if your life doesn't have those built-in parameters, especially because streaming is very much like a metrics game, and it's easy where it's like, oh, I'm getting so many followers and I'm doing so well, and I like, you can easily see growth. So it's like I can see that the interaction, the validation, it's very real time, like the real time response, and then social media is like made to be that way. So I could definitely see that. And if you don't have those built-in parameters in your life, children or another job or something,
they call it like when musicians come off the road for a long time and like that first day home and like they wake up and they're not like being cheered at or whatever. There's actually a lot of people that I know that go through, it's like I don't want to say like a lull, but like just a transition period.
Sounds like a role shifting kind of a thing.
There's someone that takes lessons here, is a very prominent musician. And I remember we had a recital for Christmas and they showed up and they were just like, I was just playing in front of like 50,000 people in Germany. And now I'm here at my daughter's piano recital, and he was saying like the Christmas time, it's weird just to be home and around family. And if you have like a really exciting, stream, let's say, and everything's crazy. And then like you said, I never thought of that, but you log off and then, you're like, oh, okay.
It's very bittersweet and it's kind of hard to shift and adjust and balance and have like a double life like that. And that's sort of what I feel like streaming is sometimes.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Tammy, you're so smart.
No, I'm not.
So what advice would you give to someone who's looking to start streaming from that perspective? I mean, there's all the technical, logistical, stuff. There's 100 ways to do that. But if you were to talk to another young lady, someone similar to you, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or someone that looks up to you. What would you tell yourself a year ago to be prepared for the journey? Like, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
I think recently, in like the past 3 or 4 months, maybe I viewed it more as I'm very lucky that I'm able to give and send love to so many people, and that's just all I've really been focusing on. So I think if you go from that mindset, if you start with that mindset that just like, even if whether it's 2 people or 200 people, like, holy crap, I get to just tell people that I love them and I care about them and I genuinely do, and like I feel it in my heart. I feel like that's just such a cool opportunity, and not to worry about any of the other metrics. And I think that if you do worry about a metric, like if there's ever a day that you're like, oh man, my numbers weren't good, that's a day that you need to take a look inside yourself and figure out why you're even thinking about that. Because I really don't think it's relevant as far as like how you should feel about yourself or how your day went. I mean, it's relevant in just, tracking stats or what you want to do, or some things that work or some things that don't, making like operational decisions. But if it makes you actually feel a certain way, then I think it's just time to look inside a little bit and readjust your focus.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Focus on what you can give, not what you can get, and you'll be all right.
Exactly.
Because that's the part that's up to you. That's good stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I would say just do it, Like if you want to stream, you can, I mean, I shouldn't advise people to go take out credit cards like I did. But yeah, you can make it happen. Or, start off with a lower quality stream and then build from there,
Yeah, I did.
And I bought a lot of stuff my first couple months.
Yeah, I did that like years ago when I was in college and I needed like gear. I was playing so much, I just, buying sticks and drum heads. Like, man, I don't like have any money. So I remember I took out like the Guitar Center credit card. I didn't really know how credit cards worked. Like I did, but I didn't. But I was like, you just pay it later. And yeah, it was a learning curve, I guess, with credit cards when I was a little baby.
I mean, but there's a difference between like being blind about it and being like, hey,
True.
this is something I like to do. I love doing it. I see myself doing this long term.
Yeah.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like I know that I'm going to be able to sustain this
Yeah.
and justify it. And, and in that case, I don't think that it's bad advice or anything like that.
It's an investment, for sure.
Yeah.
You
have to view it and take it very seriously that way. Yeah.
Yeah, someone there's a streamer that I like to listen to. He has a podcast. He said, don't just go out and spend all this money on like a really good camera, a really good computer. Don't upgrade everything and then stream and realize you hate it, or that it makes you feel terrible when you do it. So yeah, trying it out for a few weeks or few streams, and if you get that bug and you're like, this is amazing, then kind of take that leap. But I thought that was good advice.
That's good advice. Or check the return policy on your equipment.
Oh my gosh. I started a confession. I started going to like a different Guitar Center store like a year after I moved to the area, because it was like that first year figuring out which gear and what stuff I liked. I was always bringing shit back, excuse my language, and ordering used stuff or weird things. And I mean, I could just go on, and
They
finally
don't care,
I'm like, I'm just gonna have a
Guitar
fresh
Center?
start at it. Well, between all that and then at each transaction, being like, okay, do you still mind giving me my 10% veterans discount? And Guitar Center takes forever because they have to like type everything in.
Yeah.
And like, they have to go through all of your receipts. Like I was like, I'm just gonna get a clean start at a new Guitar Center there. Okay.
So warning, if you guys see Steph walking in and you work at Guitar Center.
With the head of shame with the box going in the store, that's me bringing back something I didn't like. But for real, you spend $500 on a loop pedal. You want to make sure that that's the one you want.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
You change loop pedals, right?
Oh my gosh, I went through like 4 different loop pedals.
I feel like you had a different loop pedal every time I watched your stream.
And here's how it worked. We'd open the box up on stream. We'd plug it in. I'd be like, do I like this? Okay, I like this. Do I not? Okay, I really don't like this. And we would just like learn all together. And that's how I've sort of like upgraded all my gear. I'll be like, okay, we're going to try this now. Cool.
Tammy, you were the first one that I saw like starting to write names on guitars, like sub names and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Like, and I remember the first time that I saw you, I was like, she's writing names on that. That looks like a really nice guitar. But then I was like,
it's a pretty nice guitar.
In like hindsight, I'm like, that is such like a cool way to say thank you, like on a nice instrument. And then like, you're going to have that forever. That's like the coolest thing. So,
and it means so much. It means way more to me now than it would have before.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I remember thinking about it, because at first I was like, I have like a cheap guitar, like $100 guitar or something. I was like, I could write on that. And I was like, no, that's like, I don't know. I want to get like a really, really nice guitar that I like. And then we can all be together and close. I'm very sappy like that. Like I am.
No, for sure.
I love everybody here so much. Like they're all my favorite people. And the only thing is they kind of the ones around where you play smudge a little bit, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it shows that you care about like your viewers and the people. Like when you're in your chat, like it's super cozy, and like I said, I'll usually watch you when you're like on Saturday nights later, and there'll be a point where you'll be like, well, I've been streaming for 8 hours. I'm like, what? Like you can't tell. Sometimes when streamers are going for a long time, by the end they're just like, they get tired and you still have the energy like you just started, and you're just so excited. And I always thought that was really cool. That your vocal cords work that long, but you still sound.
They don't always.
Yeah, but
they go out after 8 hours. Like that's pretty much where they start cracking.
But 8 hours, like I've done gigs where a singer will be like, an hour, I'm going to need like, hot tea and this and this and this after I perform. I'm like, okay, I mean, an hour is a long time to sing, but 8 hours, like that's so impressive. And just you're super talented.
Oh, thank you.
Fanboy.
I mean, it is like if I sing,
Wait, do I look this way?
Yeah, if I sing for an hour, I can't talk the next day. And maybe I'm not. My vocal cords just aren't there. Built up wise and stuff. But it's really impressive. That's like, to me, that's the equivalent of like an Ironman race or like a marathon. Like to be able to sing that long consistently,
No, yeah, it's true.
Crazy.
At the same time, and I will say I've done streams that long. Like my last stream was 8 hours.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? So I can attest that it does take stamina.
Mm-hmm.
But streaming time's a little different because it's like, at a traditional gig, you wouldn't really be stopping.
Yeah, you don't
like,
talk
at least
as much.
not the much that I talk. Yeah, exactly.
No,
I mean, Tammy,
I
you're
agree.
chatty too, so it makes it go by faster a little bit.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, your
still,
pace
that's
is
8 hours of
different.
constant interaction. I would still say that is definitely like reading and
Yeah.
responding and singing.
The focus.
And then the focus, shifting focus and pacing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the different repertoire too. Like definitely. Like 8 hours of streaming, like, let's just put it this way. It's not easy to do 8 hours of good streaming. You know what I mean? 8 hours
Yeah.
of good content in a row. Like I've seen people put their webcams on Be Right Back for 30 minutes.
Oh, really?
I'll be yes. I will say Tammy is very good with her content, and she would never put her webcam on Be Right Back for 30 minutes.
That's a long time. Yeah.
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 I want to know who hangs out for 30 minutes in that screen.
I don't know.
I actually, for as far as content goes, for that long, I have a very funny chat. Like the people in my chat, I think, are some of the most hilarious people I've met in my life, and I think they probably keep it going and keep the energy up and keep the mood up because they're just so freaking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if they weren't there, who knows what it would be like or how much I could, talk without that. But I think they provide, I think my content is like 95% chat and 5% me tripping over a tambourine. Like that is it.
Well, the first time that I think I saw you, and I didn't know who you were, but you were driving to Twitchcon with Esme.
Yeah.
And you guys were singing like all the Blink stuff, and that makes sense now, like that you were in a punk band. And because I talking with Esme at Twitchcon, she said like that growing up, that's what she was into, like punk. And then like when I started going to your streams, everyone's requesting like these Blink songs or No Effects, and I was like, this is so cool. That was like my like punk phase, growing up, and so.
Yeah, and those are my favorite songs to play. I get really excited to play like Rancid covers and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't realize, but that's what like Esme and Max grew up listening to too. We're actually going to go to a pop punk themed club night in a week that I think will be really fun. If anyone's in London and you want to come.
That sounds amazing. Are they going to put like throw a beat over the original stuff?
Oh gosh,
like the
like
remixes?
remix it.
Is it gonna? Yeah, are they going to remix it or?
I hope it's just like the album version, but I'd be fine with either.
What is it? You know how there's like the pop goes punk? We could do like Twitch goes punk or something. Take everyone's music and punkify it.
That'd be amazing.
Wait, so Tammy, you write too. We should talk a little bit about this. I want to talk about like two things for sure. I want to talk about Tammy's music.
Now, you've been writing a long time though, Tammy, you said, right? Like at your old job, you'd write down. When did you start writing, would you say? Or like your own stuff?
Probably when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say I wrote most of the songs for my band in high school. I didn't write the ones in the punk band. And then in college I wrote, but it wasn't anything. They were, weren't great songs. And then this past year, I've probably written the most of my life. And I've written about everything. I've written about Twitch. I've written about chat. I've written about people that I've had crushes on and people that I don't have crushes on. Friendship songs. Like, I've written about this like entire past year.
Yeah,
I've done some of that on chat, but then I've had to delete the VODs because they just got really emotional, and it was just a lot of crying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
I've cried on stream a lot, more than anyone should.
Well, I mean, I tried that once.
You tried crying on stream on purpose?
I don't cry. I tried doing, I record a lot here, and I tried opening up a project and just kind of working through it. And I'm not even like getting into, emotions and stuff, but I found it very distracting, and I just did not enjoy it. Because when I record, I have I zone everything out. I just, phones off, internet's off on the computers. I don't want to be no one near me, this is my time. And I didn't enjoy it. I couldn't focus up. I didn't feel like I was connecting with my instrument. So to do that on stream and to get to that level, like you were saying, that's very cool. Did you feel like when you first started streaming that you would be comfortable with doing that eventually?
So when I first started streaming, I lived with my boyfriend, and we broke up shortly afterwards. So I went through that whole breakup, kind of not the actual breakup live, but
that's such a Michael Scott from The Office thing to do.
Like a live breakup.
Yeah.
But I moved, so he was in streams, he had a command about him and stuff. And then I moved, and then I had a stream. I streamed the night we broke up, I think, and I moved out, and I tried so hard to be happy, and and I didn't say anything about it because I was like, private life is private life. I don't need to. And then someone requested Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, and I just lost it.
Good old Goo Goo Dolls.
And then at that point, personal life wasn't so personal on Twitch anymore, and I just
yeah. The songwriting process, it can get,
it's very revealing too. It's very easy to tell what I'm going through when I'm like, here's a song I wrote today. They're like, okay, we know what happened.
What are your future plans with your originals and stuff like that? Do you have any goals that you're trying to get to with that, recording or releasing or anything like that?
I'm recording Be There in 5 with Max of The Luck this week, which I'm really excited about because I think he's really, really good at production, and I think all their stuff sounds amazing. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Cool. So now I'm a little out of the loop. Are you visiting right now in London, or did you move? Are you there?
I'm here. I'm going to open for them for a show in London on the 21st of March. So they're starting a themed music night every month in central London. And so this is going to be their first one. And the theme is it's called Soft Rock Calling. And the theme is kind of Americana type music. Well, I guess it's left or West Coast Americana is at least what this one is, because they lived in.
So they got
the West
their
Coast.
very own. They got you. Look at me,
so
up a real life one
American
right here.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about, and that's all Twitch. That's completely 100%. That was Megan Lenius and I were on the Bay Bridge driving to the Twitch office. It's so Twitch. Driving to the Twitch office together. We had met the day before and then met on Twitch a month before, and we were listening to the Lux stream in the car, through Bluetooth. And she was watching them, and we're driving across the bridge, and she was like, they're in the Bay Area. And I was like, what? No, I thought they were in London. And she's like, no, they're in the Bay Area. So she just typed in chat, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? And they whispered their phone number, and then we met up with them that same night and had a jam session. And it was, and that's how we all met each other.
That sounds really cool.
And then now I'm here in London opening for them in a month and doing
very cool.
Yeah, it's really,
so
really cool.
They're semi-permanently? Permanently?
Semi-permanently?
Can't say yet?
it's not in their hands right now, but they'll be back.
you.
They'll be back in America.
Yeah.
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 That
No,
was
I mean
one-
you.
Oh, me?
You.
No,
Are you
I'm
coming back or are you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm coming back. I have gigs
Gotcha.
booked as soon as I get back. Yeah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
she let something else.
Wait, what? What?
Be excited.
That was one of the things I was sad about TwitchCon was that Max wasn't able to, because I found them I think last June, and they're one of my favorite streams, like because they would stream during the day when they were here in America, like my afternoons, so I could catch them before like I started teaching. And I was all gonna fanboy over Max. I was like, gonna be Max from the vlog, and then he couldn't come. I was like, oh man,
The boys love him.
He's good. He's so good. And he's very handsome too. He's a handsome man.
He's aight.
So like all like the like you got to go to TwitchCon and you're getting to travel and do all these things. Like a year ago, did you think that would happen or?
Oh, never. I got booked to play a wedding in Finland through Twitch.
What?
Like, it's crazy.
Crazy.
It's the coolest thing in the whole world. I'm so excited.
That is awesome.
Like, I could just like burst into tears right now thinking that's not good podcast material though, Craig. Am I allowed to ask questions to you guys?
Sure. Yeah.
Of course.
So what's going on with your project RGS for your album? Do you have any dates or updates on that?
Here, wait.
Nope. It's all top secret.
It's top secret?
Top
Is it-
secret.
All right, never mind.
No, I'm totally kidding. There's actually a few of us from Twitch. I know one of them's in the chat right now. One of them is on video right now, and the other one was in the chat earlier. We're going to be doing we're going to be doing a little project. I'm thinking. I think it's going to be 6 songs. I think it's probably going to be 5 songs and then like a bonus like acoustic track. I don't really have like a ton of updates, but Vargan's going to be playing cello. He's going to be coming out from California over to the
Oh
East
my
Coast.
gosh. What? He's recording it there?
Yeah, we're going to be doing it at Dan's brand new house, at Dan's brand new home studio.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
where's that?
I'm moving to Pennsylvania in June is when I will get there. We're going to start building the new studio next month. Oh,
Where do you live right now?
I'm in LA.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
What about your students in LA? They got to move, I guess.
Yeah.
They're all moving.
Yeah. No, I just it's just been a little. I've been out here since 2002, so it's just I've done what I needed to do career wise, and I just feel like I don't need the city life. I just.
Where in LA are you?
I'm in Santa Clarita, so like north
okay.
LA. So
In
if
the
I do
burbs.
gig, yeah, I'll it's usually out of town stuff anyway. I'm not really playing downtown a lot.
Yeah.
But moving back is going to let us slow down a little bit, and I'm actually going to focus even more on music. So like less teaching and more on recording and stuff like that is what I'm really, really excited about.
That's cool.
awesome.
Yeah, but like with Steph's project, I think I mentioned it at the retreat, but like I already contacted like this old church that has like, I'm going to bring in like a really nice Steinway piano that I have a connection. It's going to sound so good. And like
so
we're going to have like all
excited.
these, it's going to be very,
That's so
I don't know.
cool.
There's going to be a lot of love put into the recording.
There's a
process
lot of
for it.
love put into this project already.
Yeah.
We're gonna fly Depeche Moog. We're gonna fly him out from Dublin.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come out and produce. Dan is gonna basically be Moog's biatch.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I mean,
I can't wait.
Dan's like, okay, yep, and it's
Hit the button.
it's so crazy because I might have to we still have to nail as far as dates. We're going to be doing this probably early August. We have to just nail those dates down.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that have expressed interest in maybe sort of crashing the party.
Yeah.
We're gonna stream. I don't want to stream obviously everything, you know, because some of that stuff's going to be monotonous, crazy. You know, you wouldn't want to stream it, but we're going to be live streaming a lot of the production. And some folks have expressed some interest in like, oh, I'd love to come up and, you know.
Yeah, everyone's
gang
welcome.
vocals.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, exactly. There are a few people in particular I seriously want to get out here, and it's just like, it's amazing because it's like all of a sudden everybody just sort of came together. They're like, oh, I can help. Like if I wanted to, I could go to a super nice studio in you know, where Doc
I knew
is
how
too,
much it
so
meant
it's
to you,
crazy.
just like from doing the podcast, like getting to know you this way. You know, I knew it was it's something you've worked for a long time, and then when it wasn't happening the way you were thinking, I'm like, well, you know.
Yeah, I was crashing and burning.
Yeah.
Well, nobody was getting back to me.
Yeah.
And because it was like a thing that required a lot of coordination, and none of the local studios were getting back to me like at all.
Yeah.
One of them finally did last week. And I was like,
wow.
well, when you're flying people out from
3 months
Ireland, you
later.
kind of need to know. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, when you're trying to fly people out from California and Ireland, and, you know, like I'm crowdfunding, you know, telling my people, hey, I need, you know, a lot of money to make this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're trusting me to make a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I need to know sooner than that. So it was just nice that everybody kind of came through and they offered up what they had, whether it was a connection or a, you know,
Yeah,
or help there.
it's going to be very cool. I can't wait. I don't know. It's going to be
I'm
fun.
stoked too. And it's going to be good to get it out, man.
I'm looking at Depeche Mode's Twitch page right now because I have not met him.
Yeah, follow him.
Yeah. He's a pro.
I'm following him now.
He's
an
a pro.
amazing
Yeah, I'll definitely
producer.
follow him. And Vargan says he needs to get his sandals back from you, Dan.
Yeah, why do you have the sandals? What's going on here?
No, he came up and we did like a dual stream once, and he left his sandals here. So
That's it.
What did he
Did he
leave
go home
with?
barefoot?
Yes,
I don't
barefoot.
remember.
What?
home.
I did a shot of tequila with him at Twitchcon. No lies. I think. I don't know.
I want to
We
hear
did-
Vargon. Why did you leave your flip flops? Excuse
What
me.
did you just
Your sandals?
buy?
What
Did
did you leave in? That's what I need to know.
I
Did
got
you
everything.
leave barefoot? That's the question. I totally forgot that. We understand you forgot them.
Yeah,
but
we got-
what was on your feet when you left?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's going to be like having, this is just a testament, like Tammy, like you said, the things that Twitch has done for us, you know, I would have not ever thought I'd be talking with people like you. You know what I mean? Like everything that I've done musically, professionally has been through just, you know, gigging or someone recommended me for a project or someone doing this. But now it's like we just collectively want to help each other and just all of us coming together like you guys with like the luck, and like, you know, you watch their stream and said, hey, what are you doing? And all of a sudden it's like you have a new best friend, you know. It's like the weirdest,
Yeah.
craziest thing.
It's so powerful. Like she booking a wedding in Finland.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you go to TwitchCon too, it's really crazy because then some people come from all over to go there. And then it's like people you've never, and when people come up to you, you know, like I'm sure that happened to you, Tammy. You're taller than I thought you would be. I've got to
was
say,
quite massive.
Tammy is so tall. Like I felt like a miniature person next to you and Esme. I was like, oh my gosh.
RGS is even more beautiful in person.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody-
Tammy, her
everybody.
lashes are even more on fleek in person.
I don't wear
They're
fake lashes.
perfect.
I went through a lash
perfect.
phase during TwitchCon. Because I was in an opera like a couple weeks before TwitchCon, and I had to put fake eyelashes on like all the time for that performance.
Yeah.
And then I got really used to how my eyes looked with fake eyelashes, and I
They
kept
look
doing them myself
beautiful.
for like the next couple weeks, and then I couldn't be bothered after that. So
I know. I can't either lately, girl. I feel you.
yeah, it lasted a month.
Well, rewind for a second. I didn't know you did an opera. That's insane.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a cool experience for sure.
Like, have you?
Were you a stagehand? Did you sing? Like, you know, what did you?
I was in the chorus.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I was a prostitute and a maid.
There you go.
Not at the same time. Well, I can, yeah.
We're going deep here. This
Sir, you
episode,
were in
guys.
service. You were in the service industry.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really cool.
It was Don Pasquale. And so I started taking singing lessons a year prior. So it's probably been a year and a half now, 2 years maybe. And my teacher was like, you need to learn classical singing because you can't sing. And I was like,
Really?
okay. So she was like, we're gonna teach you opera, and you're gonna try out for an opera, so that can be like, so we have some kind of goal that we're trying to meet, like go audition. And I'd never been in plays or anything. Like the whole musical era of my life kind of passed by because I was busy being in like rock bands, and I was in marching band and that stuff.
You're such a nerd. I was.
I was such a nerd. Yeah. I was in band and orchestra. Like and so I never got to do musical theater or any theater, and I was never into acting. So I was really nervous, but we pretty much just prepared for a year, like one opera song, just like note by note by note to like fake that I could sing opera pretty much for this one audition. And my teacher was like, when I got in, I didn't know why I don't know. I don't know why they let me in, but my teacher was like, we have our work cut out for us because we just tricked them into thinking you know how to sing opera and you don't. Wow. Like, we just went note by note and like tweaked everything until it sounded like you knew what you were doing. And I was like, oh, and that was true. And it was a steep learning curve.
But how did you do? Like, did performance?
It was fine. Yeah, they asked me to come back and everything.
That's cool.
It just took a lot of time. It was a big time commitment.
Yeah.
Now, have you played flute? Have you ever played your flute on Twitch?
Yeah, I play it as my intro to My Heart Will Go On.
That's awesome. I need to catch that. I need a clip of that.
And for like sheet music sight reading, I can sight read pretty well on flute. So like if anybody sends flute sheet music, I'll play it. But I'm not good at improvising because I'm just play classical flute. So my whole like ear finger connection is.
What was the movie?
Really trained.
Anchorman, where he did the jazz flute.
Oh, jazz flute! Yeah. I wish I could do that.
That's the new goal, Tammy. That's a new goal for you. No,
that is interesting though, with the like that the goal was for you to do opera, because I've read blogs and I've kind of looked into it. Like when you grow up classically trained, sometimes that doesn't work in your favor as like a pop singer. Yeah. And Tammy, you're more of a pop rock singer, and the vocal techniques for, a lot of the basic fundamentals are always going to be the same, but the way that you actually have to like shift and manipulate, to get the sound to leave your head, sound the right way is very, very different when you're doing opera. Yeah. And the tones are very, like, it's a very, like, dark vocal tone versus very bright vocal tone versus, like, the belting kind of stuff. And, like, there's, like, a lot of different ways to sing. So it's, like, I don't know. I'm honestly surprised. Have you considered doing lessons with somebody that's more, like, specific to listening? Like, I've wondered this, like, go to somebody with my own stuff and be like, okay, this is the stuff I've written. Now help me sing it how it's going to sound like the best.
My teacher has done that with originals.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And she's Chinese. She only speaks Chinese. So the lessons are all in Chinese. And she doesn't understand what I'm saying, but she'll still direct me on tone and support really cool. and dynamics. Yeah. And she was an opera singer in China for many years.
Yeah. Yeah. Like vocal, I always tell my students that'll say, oh, guitar's harder and piano's hard too, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, singing is the hardest instrument.
No, drums. Hands down, drums.
Drums are hard. You kind of have it or you don't there.
No.
Yeah.
No way. Because like
2 versus 1. Doc, what do you think?
I don't think drums are the hardest because there's no tone, there's no pitch. I think they are the coordination that's required.
Yeah.
The coordination that's required is some of the most complicated because you got more than one thing going, but you don't have to be able to hear pitch and like match pitch to be able to break down the. Am I right, Dan?
Yeah. Well, musically, it's completely different. It's on a different spectrum, but like the amount of control that even your hands play a part in, and I'm going to go super nerdy right now, on any instrument, right? Guitar, piano, yes, those all require many, many, many skills, right? But when you're using the inside of your body that you don't you have control over, but not like your hands and stuff like that. Like, think of that. Like, you're pushing air through your own. It's like your body is the instrument, you know. And I just that boggles my mind, and it's so crazy. People that can control it in a way that, you know, just sounds so good. I think that's unprecedented to me. You know, I think the human voice is the most advanced instrument.
Next step, Tammy learns how to yodel.
Yeah. I gotta find a yodeling coach.
Yeah.
Can you guys yodel? Can any of you yodel?
I've never
tried.
tried.
When I was a kid. My mom made me try when I was a kid because she loved old cowboy movies and all the good cowboy movies. I can now. I said when I was a kid. That was like 40 years ago.
Like the picture you posted.
Yeah.
Oh, the old 17. Band photos.
Did you see that? Yeah, the old band photo. Oh my gosh.
We always weigh in on the instrument that just grinds our gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Tammy, what's yours?
In band, I was in clarinet section.
That one oboe guy, huh?
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing like a well-placed oboe, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like there's something.
Yeah, they better nail it. And they better nail it.
Yeah, you can't be off at all. But when it's like just floats in there in the right way, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, no offense to clarinet players, but I feel like they kind of, they grinded my gears. They ground my gears a little bit.
Is there a song that, you know, we this has become one of my new favorite questions, that from two questions, I guess. Like, when you started, did you have like a well thought out playlist? When you first started streaming, how did you do that? Did you just kind of wing it? Did you take stuff from chat, or did you have people suggest stuff, or did you build up a playlist that you were comfortable with at first? Or
I had a list of songs that I felt like I could play if I needed to play, like not necessarily songs that I had played before, but when I listen to music, if I like something, just listen to it over and over and over and over and over again. So I had songs that I was like, I've listened to this song 1,000 times. If someone requests it, I could probably fake my way through it, and I would like to learn it if people keep requesting it. So I'll put it on a list.
Right.
And then I had songs that I had played before, and I had a little bit of an Excel sheet of what I had played because I had to send it to somebody for like a wedding thing before. So I just used that, a Google Doc. And then from that, had Rio Music Bot, and now Streamer Song List that like imported all in. So now things just get added straight to Streamer Song List. I don't have like a document anymore. And with Live Learns, if somebody chooses to do that, I add it to the list now.
Got it.
So like I add things to the list that people request.
Yeah, and what is like the song that you'll just say no to?
I took Skater Boy off the list.
Skater Boy.
It was originally on the list, and it's no longer there. It just got requested too much. It was like at least once a stream.
Yeah.
I was surprised in one of your streams one night, Tammy, at the wide range of songs that you, not only that you know, because we all hear, you know, we listen to the radio and we're familiar with songs, but that you're like, sure, I can do that. And you're like doing some Homie G rap songs and stuff. 1 minute. And I mean, what's the guy's name? Warren G. You're like doing some Warren G, you know, and then the next song you're playing, you know, like, you know, Love Ballad, you know, or something like that, or something from the love. I mean, but I was impressed with what I'm saying is I was very impressed with the wide variety, the dynamic range of the styles of songs that you're willing to do, and you do them well. You own them when you do them.
Well, thank you, Doc.
Yeah, sure.
I think I've gone through a lot of musical phases in what I listen to, and whenever I do, I get pretty deep into them, like pretty immersed in subcultures. So I think that's helped with that.
Who are you listening to now?
A band that I really, really liked this past year that actually started as a live learn. I had never heard of them before, but they're called Turnover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of them, but I've just been listening to them like crazy. War on Drugs is a band that I like in the recent years that I've really liked. Taylor Swift.
Yes!
I love the new Taylor Swift album. I think it's so good.
I'm like the biggest. I get crap for it, but I'm the biggest Taylor. I have like, you know, in my car an actual CD of, was it 1908? I think was the record.
89.
Yeah, that's in my car like all the time, and it's funny. Like,
1908's in
Big
my
fan.
car. Dan, that one's in my.
I have like I have a blacked
1908
out
was
car. Like it looks all like scary. And if I'm driving around with the windows down, I'll pull up, you know, at like a light, just Taylor Swift blaring, and everyone's just like, whoa. Like that's not what they
Yeah.
expect. That's kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, Style's a great song, guys. I
love it. I think I actually like if I'm at the gym or I'm driving and I can be listening to music, I usually listen to streams.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say other Twitch musicians, like really, like I haven't discovered or gotten really into other artists other than people here on Twitch lately. It's like turned into my playlist of sorts. Like I was watching Steph at the gym while I was doing on the machines and I was typing in chat while I was resting between
It's
sets.
not thumb day.
Yeah,
Tammy.
they're like,
it's leg day. It's
yeah,
not thumb day.
Some random dude was like, "It's leg day, not thumb day." And I was like, "Bitch,
Not
come
thumb
on now.
day.
I got to rest between sets." But yeah,
See, that's why I don't listen as often as I could. I know. Oh, dog. Oh my god.
wait, what happened?
He just got the funny.
I just got Thumb Day. That is hilarious. Thumb Day. You need to get a shirt that shows thumbs in a phone and say, "Shut up, bitch! It is Thumb Day" or something like that. That's just hilarious. I'm sorry. Pardon this interruption.
No, that was a beautiful interruption. It was. I don't even remember what we were talking about. But it's like it's totally all good, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, just what we've been listening to. My answer was Steph.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was gonna say. See, I usually like put it on audio only in the car because then I can usually get a decent signal. But I'm always too tempted to chat.
I know.
Or like I can't say hi or host people. It's not that I can't. It's just once you're on Twitch a while, you become friends with people. Hey, people know me, you know. And when you host somebody or say hi, you don't want to put the phone down. Because 5 minutes, that could be a lot of highs that
you
you're
commit
missing.
to
And
that
what's the
time.
tagging etiquette?
Yeah,
You know,
lurking
it
is
takes
hard.
you like it's hard, and it's like you got to drop that stealth host, or just it stinks. But I'm there for you, people.
Yeah, I lurk a lot, like throughout my day, because there are points where I'll have a break in between students or something, and I'm like, oh, I can I'll watch certain people at night, or when I get home, I'm eating dinner, and my wife's doing work. We'll have some stuff on, but I enjoy just watching, and just enjoying it and reading chat. I get
That's
that.
what was so odd for me at Twitchcon this last year, were the number of other streamers that seemed real familiar with me that I was like, I don't ever remember you being in my channel. I don't think we've ever really chatted maybe for more than 30. They're like, oh man, how's it going? You got I got some shades, when are you going to do a chat scat for us? And I'm like, how do you even know about that stuff? Like, but of course at that time I have a hard time lurking. I'm the same way. I'm like, what's up guys? What's going on? But yeah, that kind of made Twitch kind of a little odd to have different people seemed like they were familiar with me. And I'm like, you've never been to my channel before. How do you know?
Yeah.
And there's so many people that my brain was just like, oh my gosh, I have to reach back in the Rolodex, of all the people from all the places.
And there's-
I
it's
just
the
want everyone to
internet.
wear their username on a shirt.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or
that
have
would
it be
nice.
larger on the badge so you can be a little
Tiny.
more
And then
stealthy
you have
about
to be stealthy
it.
about looking at it too. You're like, oh, hey, good to
There's
see
no
you.
way they
Like-
designed that intentionally so you could not, man. That was tough.
They need to give everybody beanies this year and put their name right here. So
Yes.
it's like you're just
That's
like,
smart.
hi.
The fanny packs that they were giving out, we got back, and I was on stream And my wife was watching, and someone said, like, hey, did you get a fanny pack? And I was like, I didn't want a fanny pack. I'm not going to, no. And then I got home, my wife was like, why did you get that fanny pack? Like, I would have liked it. Or
Why
like,
didn't you? I wish I brought it with me on this trip.
I'm not a fanny pack kind of guy. I don't know.
Me neither.
I don't know. I had one when I was
already
like, when I was like 9. I remember a trip to like my parents took us to like the Philadelphia Zoo, and it was like totally like the 90s neon fanny pack. And I like
those are great.
put like Legos in there and my Game Boy, and I thought I was like the coolest kid. And then I remember, I think I wore it to school or something, and then someone was like, fanny packs aren't cool, man. I was like, oh, okay. And then that ruined fanny packs for me.
Listen, at Twitchcon, I did not wear the fanny pack. I'm like, look, between my dad bod and my gray goatee, I'm already Throwback Thursday. I don't need your help helping me look like the 1980s tourist dad coming to Twitchcon to hang out with all the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I put that thing in the car. Like, no.
And me, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so nice. I'll just wear it a little tighter, a little higher on my waist with this dress.
Cinch it.
And then I can slide my business cards in there and my hands are free.
And my wife
Did
was
you do that?
very upset I didn't get one.
Of course. Yes.
I didn't. In college, I wore a fanny pack out.
Oh,
and like
you
it was
did?
it was
Oh,
like
I
my
never did
sobriety
that.
test, because when I would leave the dorms, I'd wear it like a purse, and then like as I got drunk, it would be like on the waist. So if it were on my waist, then
But it feels so practical at the time. You're like,
Yeah.
but guys,
Yeah.
you can't talk me out of this.
like
don't
all
know.
my snacks are here.
I just think I think it's very cool. They're very uncool to see guys that are like, well, let's just, you know.
They don't care, man.
I don't know.
I think
don't
it's hot.
Note to self: get fanny pack.
I think it's funny you hand your purse to a guy and they hold it like it's a bomb that's about to go off. If they like, you know, it's like, this is not how to hold a purse. This is not, you know, and like my husband's like,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't-
just like puts that thing on. I'm good.
I don't mind holding them. It's going inside the purse that's scary. I don't know. My wife's purse is just like.
How do you go into it?
I'm
Yeah.
just
Going
like
in the
I
Where's
don't
the
know
front
where
door
to
key,
go.
go on
honey?
in.
It's in my purse.
She has so many things in it that I just get so. She's like, oh yeah, I have chapstick. It's in my purse, and I go.
Oh, you know, the front pocket, the what pocket?
Yeah,
the front
there's, like,
pocket. I
4
thought I was in the
pockets.
front pocket.
I could go for some chapstick now
I
that
have
you bring it up.
I have a wallet. Yeah, this is.
My lips hurt real bad.
I have my driver's license and like one in our debit card and like a Subway gift card. That's my wallet. Like that's.
We could do a what's in my purse right now.
Yeah. That's
What Subway
everything
card
I
is
have.
it?
It's a yeah. I have.
Do you remember when
a
you used to
legit
get to
Subway
put the stamps
card.
on it, and you got the free sub after 10
Yes,
stamps?
they don't do that anymore.
I don't think so,
No.
but I was all about it.
Nope.
They don't do $5 footlong anymore. That was their best ad campaign.
If it's
It's
like
$6.
$6,
Like-
you're getting a
Yeah,
good
give it
deal.
back, bin back
It's
since.
like at least $6.
Yeah.
I've been
They
using
shouldn't
this
have made it so
backpack that I
catchy.
got at TwitchCon for free.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
I get
fancy.
the meatball sub at Subway, and it always like makes me feel terrible after I eat it, like heartburn and stuff. Like that's the only thing that'll give me heartburn is the meatball sandwich from Subway. But that's
That's
all
the
I
only
eat.
thing you want.
Yeah, that's-
Ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
good.
now you know.
Yeah.
The more you know. There it is. What gives you heartburn, Tammy?
Ooh, that's a good question. Sometimes I got really spicy broth,
Yeah. Like
and I'll just like pho broth, and then I'll put like a lot of chili sauce and sriracha in it,
I couldn't do that.
and I just keep drinking it until like I'm completely bloated, and it's just like I can't fill up anymore.
I would cry.
And then
I
and then
can't.
sometimes I get heartburn from that.
Steph, what can't you eat? What gives you
For those of you listening, Steph's face right now is priceless.
This will all probably get edited out, I'm sure, but it's still fun.
I have no idea. But I did want to ask you guys about stuff. You know, tax season is upon us.
Oh no!
And for those of us who make any sort of an income streaming, that generally means you have to do things and stuff.
Yeah, things
you
and
know,
stuff.
satisfy the IRS and people, your people who are in your country and stuff. Why? What's the deal with Twitch and not including bits in your statement? Because
are they not included? I thought
they're not included, and I'm like, is there some policy that Twitch is like?
I didn't even look at it.
You know what I mean?
We have staff in chat right now.
Yeah, and they're also discussed as being royalties, which my accountant, which is also my mother-in-law, was like, she was like, well, what's the royalty? She was asking me more information about why they're called royalties and why bits aren't included. So it's like, they're just going off of, everything that goes into the account that I put my business income through.
Right.
But I just think it's really interesting. And it's like, it's strange because we're in this strange middle point where you're independent contractor, essentially.
Yeah. Well,
right. Twitch is not your employer. You're like
I wonder if when people buy bits, because they cost more than what you give, and then what we receive, I wonder if that extra percentage that people pay for goes towards some kind of
that goes towards Twitch.
Yeah, but I wonder if that frees up
That's
them
their income.
like a tax liability, if you know what I'm saying. So they treat that maybe as like, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, I think that's just Twitch's income.
Yeah.
But like for me, I have to tell my accountant, I'm like, okay, just kind of ignore the thing Twitch gave me. I guess it's nice they gave me that.
And just go off the total.
That's
and
the
just go
bummer.
off of whatever they deposit, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I just thought that was worth bringing up. There's also been some interesting information in the Twitch Music Discord. There's a financial thread now, which a lot of these questions get answered and brought up around this time of year, a lot of the time about, just those ins and outs of what can I claim as a business? Is there a benefit? There's other stuff we should talk about sometime, like the benefits of establishing a business and really what you got to do.
Yeah. For starters, it's like there's two ways to claim taxes, like the W-2, where if you have a job and taxes are taken out of your paycheck or whatever every week, month, whatever. But then like everything that I do is as an independent contractor. So like I have just stacks of 1099s from last year. If I do a recording thing or whatever, you get them all. And I tried to do it like back in 2005. I tried to do my own taxes like as an independent contractor, and it was just a nightmare. And there's so many loopholes that you can take it, not loopholes, but things that you don't think of unless you're a tax person. So I always suggest, if you're making a certain amount of money to where you're going to be paying a lot, always have a professional look at it, because they could easily, hopefully, find some things to say, oh, you didn't claim, how much do you pay for your rent? That's considered your studio. You can write that off, or da-da-da. They think of it differently and help you in a way that I would not even think to think about. They depreciated all my instruments and all my gear. You can write it off at once or depreciate it over a certain amount of time if it's expensive. So I always tell people if Twitch is like a really big part of your income, or music in general, like if you're gigging or doing recording, keep lists of everything, like traveling, like Twitchcon, like flights, all that is, you can write it all off, and it's a business expense, but you have to present it,
Something I always forget about until the end of the year is my mileage.
Yeah.
Like jotting down my mileage in the notepad, just to drive to
Take a
Guitar
picture of
Center
your
and back.
odometer.
And your financing.
That's really smart.
If you finance your car, your vehicles, all that is, you can write all that off too. The percentage of interest that you pay, per month, that's all deductible.
Richie said that royalties do get taxed differently. Last year when she did her taxes, they said to subtract out the royalties from total income and look at them separately. But are they actual royalties? Like in actuality, are they royalties? I mean, even if they call them that or not.
Like,
also, Iron Beetle said I should know this because I'm a CPA, but I did financial reporting for corporations. I never did
taxes.
I never did personal taxes. Yeah.
I was going to say something to be careful of too. I've seen several people typing this to the point where, or talking about things similar to this, if you're preparing your own taxes, be really careful about how many things you try to write off that you think because you're a streamer, you're going to get a write-off for. There's a lot that you probably should be writing off that you haven't thought about, but things like the haircut you got, makeup does not count.
Makeup you can write off for
if it's only for your
as
stream.
a performer.
Yeah.
If it's for your stream, if it's your regular everyday makeup, you cannot write that out. You're not supposed to. If you get audited,
I only wear makeup when I'm performing. Pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. If it's something for a performance, but if it's clothing, well, I got some new clothes and these are going to look good on stream, but you're also wearing them day in and day out as your normal clothes, that doesn't count. It's got to be a uniform or an actual costume, which would be like makeup for the performance itself. But if you're every day you get your haircut, well, I'm going to write that off because I'm a streamer. That doesn't count. Be careful. My wife's an attorney. She works with another attorney who they've both looked at it before and said, no, you can read it just plain out.
Well, I mean, you can write off whatever you want, but
if you get audited, though.
But exactly. My accountant treats it, though, the way my accountant is more strict, like how Doc is. Some people are kind of a little more loosey-goosey about it. Mm-hmm. But you know, it is interesting. I would like to bring in an expert and talk to somebody because, like, other people, like, idea. You know, Riao is not a full-time streamer, but he does make some income off tips and everything. And when it came time for him to claim his guitar, you know, he was like, his accountant was like, okay, we'll claim it at 50% of what you paid because it's like a hobby more of or whatever. But it's like, well, you know.
Yeah, I think, there's
I'd have written 100%.
There's like a loss in like how much you're putting into it. Does that make sense? Like, so if
it has to be like kind.
Yeah.
So he can only deduct it from music income. He can't deduct it from his non-music income.
So let's say he went out and bought $10,000 worth of gear, let's just say, right? And then he wants to claim that all at once, you know, say, well, I only made this much, you know, it's like a fraction of what he put into it. It's like, you got to think of it from when the IRS looks at that, are they going to go, what the heck is going on? Why? Because then they're going to have to refund, you know, so that's why depreciation sometimes is good over time. If you set it up as a business, because you can show it as a loss and then over time it'll convert to.
Yeah. You can carry over your losses too. Multiple years.
Yeah. So it could have been something like that, you know, where he didn't want to, you know, let's say he made this much, but then last year he might have bought all this musical gear. Yes, it's an investment, but it could throw up a flag somewhere to say like, oh, what's going on with this now? You know, so that's just what I'm.
If you buy a $1,000 guitar and you make $1,000 playing music online, you can write off the $1,000 guitar. But like what Tammy just said, if you've only made $100 and you bought a $1,000 guitar, you can't write off $1,000 of your other income from your normal job based on the guitar. But you absolutely can. If you've made that money and then you put it right back into equipment to make that money, you can write that junk off.
Yeah. That's why we pay people, though. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. That's why I'm gonna get more money back if I just have somebody manage my thing for me. What I can control is just sorting and organizing the information that I need to give to those people.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I have here.
Yeah.
You do it.
For sure. And a good accountant will know the right questions to ask you. They'll say, you know, did you go anywhere? What trips did you do? Did you buy food? And you'll say yes. And if you don't have the receipts, they'll look at you and go, well, how much did you spend? So having all of that stuff prepared in advance. But I remember the first time I filed as an independent contractor, I was so unprepared. And then I had to pay money. And I was like, wait, I thought I get money back for, you know, at tax time. That always meant I was going to get a refund. And there's a lot of, you know, you don't pay taxes throughout the year on money you make. So, you know, these bigger streamers put aside money to pay for taxes when the time comes.
Yeah. And you get penalized if you don't pay estimated taxes, which is hard with very unpredictable income.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
estimate.
So taxes instantly became this thing that I was like, oh man, you know, because teaching, that's all, everything I do teaching wise is, you know, 1099s and recording stuff. And, you know, people can't hire you as an employee just for, you know, one recording session or, you know, so they just treated as an independent.
It is tough because you get like double taxed.
Yeah.
You're taxed from your income, and then your business is taxed as well.
Yeah.
We've got
Anyway,
our
I
set
didn't
up
mean to
as an
detour
escort.
everything to taxes. What a
Hey, no,
What
it's important. I'm
unfortunate-
very curious. I'm excited to hear about that in the music Discord too. That's I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure I read that.
Yeah.
definitely jump in there. You can at least provide some insight to people too. Some people have done this several years. Some people are just getting started.
And that's one thing like I
I know,
haven't
yeah.
dealt with. This year's will be the first time because I haven't streamed. And that maybe is a question for you, Steph, is like PayPal donations and all that. Like I'm going to, report it and all that. But like everything that goes through PayPal, how is that treated or how have you treated that in the past? Like, do you
PayPal has function. Well, it depends. PayPal, it's so easy as a streamer to just use PayPal as your quote bank, even though they're not actually like a bank.
Yeah.
But if you are going to have everything come through PayPal, which you can have you can have your Twitch money come to PayPal. If you are an affiliate or a partner, all those Twitch payments come to PayPal. You can have your tips come through PayPal. You can even have Amazon, deposit stuff through your PayPal.
Yeah.
I believe if you're like an Amazon merchant or Amazon associate or whatever. But you do make sure that you like claim those fees because PayPal is going to hit you up with a lot of fees for those payments that come through.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely be smart about tracking those. But PayPal has, they have built-in like reporting, so you can do like a year's statement.
Yeah.
And it'll say like,
I planned
what
on
came
like
in,
everything that was, tipped on stream. That's pretty much all that the PayPal does for me. Like I have everything else deposited to the bank. So I was just going to like take that information and to my tax person and say, this happened. And if they're like, oh no, don't show me that.
You can just do a report of everything you got from PayPal for like a certain time period.
I was going to
like
do
all of your
that because I didn't know how
income,
to
and
handle
just give
that.
it to
But
them.
that's one of the situations where I was like, it's good to have someone that can maybe direct you into the right spot.
Yeah.
That's a good topic to talk about though, for sure.
If you guys had an expert, that
about.
would be really, really, really cool.
Yeah, if anybody in chat too that knows, I have a couple
professional.
entertainment people, that maybe I can get in
Budding
touch with.
industry, tax people who specialize in like individual content creators, because it is a really interesting, like it's a business, but like you are performing.
Yeah.
So like, even though my accountant has been doing, small business stuff, doing taxes, payroll and everything for small businesses for years, some of this stuff she doesn't know. She has to look up herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I've often wondered about makeup or hair dye or whatever, because it's like, I've never claimed any of that stuff, even though like I definitely like, I put makeup on today because I was going to be on stream. I don't usually wear makeup, or my hair. I'd probably dye it more often because I'm on camera. But I don't know the fine line of, okay, what are you able to justify?
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. And, that's a place good. I'm sure we'll see lots of people popping up. Hey, I'm in, word of mouth. I'm an expert in streamer taxes.
Yeah. Well, my first ever like accountant person was older, and that's how I got my new one because they retired. But I remember telling him, because I do like the online recording. I'm like, yeah, I record for people over the internet. And he's like, oh, like it was this like, he's like, so you're in a band? And I was like, well, yeah, no. And I was trying to explain what I did. And it was just like this, I couldn't even imagine, saying, I haven't done taxes yet as a streamer. So my tax, she's amazing. She's just, we talk for probably 15 minutes and catch up, but then she'll get all business, and then I'm curious to see her reaction about
the glasses go up.
Yeah, I like to say, yeah, I stream now on the internet. She's either going to be like, I'm just going to put your
people
just
give
in
me money
music.
there.
Yeah, so it is interesting to see how content creation, like YouTubers or
Well, it's interesting also from like an agent perspective too. Like, like the BlackMedia folks, they're doing both live and online content, but like at some point, in the scheme of things, there are companies that go out and help find affiliates for you and represent streamers. There are people that act as middlemen and sort of
like
take you on.
companies.
Yeah, exactly. There are some people that are like, that's sort of what they do on Twitch, but anything under like, I've been told like 600 concurrents isn't going to really, people aren't really going to focus on that. Music as a whole, most of us aren't getting numbers like that. Most of us aren't getting like 1,000 viewers or anything, at least not yet on Twitch. At the same time, we are engaging with a lot of people, and we're building really solid communities. And we have a lot of viewers, and we are making like a substantial amount of income and money for charity. So it's like it's weird because like ordinarily, like if I wanted to go try to get a sponsorship through like Shure or something, like if you navigate to their webpage to try to get like, a sponsorship from them, it says like, they want to hear from somebody's agent.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to hear from you. At the same time, a traditional music agent isn't going to really know about what you do streaming.
Yeah.
They're not going to know about the ins and outs of that. And streaming management companies don't really get what's different about us as music streamers. So we're sort of intersecting. So it's like, it will be interesting to see like who's going to step up and try to actually like branch out and actually make those connections.
I call them sharks. Whatever I would be in a certain band if we had big shows or whatever. The bigger our community grows, the more that people are going to start getting approached by. If they know there's potential for something to happen, they'll come. They find you.
Well, we've already seen them doing it lately. Yeah. Into the AM is a clothing company that, recently there's a lot of folks in the music community that have started getting like free swag from them. Myonix was another one that built up a lot last year and just started sort of like partnering with people. So we're sort of starting to see that stuff, or like that there's a music puzzle app game that was trying to partner with other folks too.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Like
Did that happen?
Well, the app
was a scam, wasn't it?
exists.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed, I don't know. I didn't respond to it, but
from the information I gathered, I don't think it was a scam. But the person who ended up, somebody did end up trying to like use it or click on generate a code or something like that, and they were getting deductions out of their PayPal account.
That's what that was.
Through using an Android app, and there was no like receipt for the purchase of the app. There was no record of them having the app, and they kind of didn't know what happened. So they thought the app was a scam. It's an actual company, or at least it appears to be. They did respond once they were tagged in that tweet. Because obviously this person was very concerned that she knew that her friends had been contacted by this company.
Yeah.
And she wanted to warn people. She was worried. She was concerned.
yeah.
Tummy's growling. I'm sorry if people hear it.
It's okay. I haven't used the app myself. I don't know if anybody else has, but it seems like somebody just, from my bystander perspective, it looks like, I don't think that it's intended to be a scam. It looks like it's supposed to be an app.
Yeah, there might have just been a hiccup.
Yeah, that's what I think, but it doesn't change the fact that like, some of those you have to be careful when you're downloading stuff, and also like I don't know if there'd be vulnerability within the app, or if it's just because the Android store is less secure. I know that the Android store is a lot of people do some crazy viruses in there.
Just in general, like the more popular you get anywhere, you're going to attract people that are, looking to benefit from what you're doing. So just be careful, everybody.
Watch your back.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm your best friend.
But Tammy, I know it's getting late there, but I just wanted to say thank you for going to all the trouble that you did to be on.
Oh my
today.
gosh, it was no trouble at all.
And I want to say thank you for being on the show and for streaming, and you're just so awesome and so amazing. They still haven't announced anything about TwitchCon, right? This year, nothing yet.
Not that I know of. Roused Hour.
Yeah. Cough.
Hey, Rouse.
But I really hope we get to see you this year at some point.
I hope so too. Thank you guys. Thank you, Dan, for organizing and putting up with my all my messages this week about testing equipment and getting my equipment here. And Doc and RGS, I love you guys. So good to see
Love
you.
you. Thanks for being here, lady.
It's so nice to get to hang out with you guys like this. This is so cool.
Yeah, ditto.
So thank you guys for listening. We'll stop recording and then. Oh wait. Do we have like 5-10 minutes to do questions from chat? I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, either chat questions and also
late,
Tammy also has to. Tammy's got to shout out
true.
her social media.
That's true. Guys, just slap
And
me.
then we got to
if
wrap
I'm-
up. There's some wrap up stuff we got to do, Dan. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you guys, anyone have any questions for Tammy in chat before we go?
Yeah. Anybody got anything for Miss Tammy here? Do I have any questions? I really just wanted to know what BlackMedia was.
I have a video about it. I did a video premiere with the
I
new
saw
premiere
that.
feature about what is BlackMedia.
That was like the day it came out, right? That the feature was released.
It was the week of it. I think
Yeah.
it was like a couple days into it. That was fun. Favorite kind of hot dog?
Angus beef hot dog with bacon.
Like just
on
a
it.
traditional type of hot dog. I do like
Yeah, with
lots of mustard.
bacon.
I like sauerkraut.
I like just in LA. Like you go to any concert or any like sporting event.
Oh,
when
the
you
Dodger
leave,
dogs?
Yes. But
No,
like
no, not the Dodger. No, the bacon wrapped ones.
Just I don't know who makes them.
Yeah,
They're
Dodger
just-
dogs are disgusting now that I think about
They're
it.
like just these people go around with carts and make bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Those are so good. Once I tried to buy like 12 of them to bring home to my housemates, and I was like carrying them all in the foil, and like they were so greasy and oily because it's bacon.
They're so gross.
All the wieners were like popping out of the buns.
It's like, how
Everyone
far
was
am I going to go with this? I just wanted to do something nice. Now I'm committed
It
here.
was like they were just like shooting out.
But
It was awful.
the best part is like as the crowds thin down, that's when you buy them because they're like $1. Like they want to get rid of them, so you wait. Yeah. So you just kind of linger a little bit, and then you find the carts that still have a bunch left over. Then you can make out like a bandit.
And you're like, here's $20. Give me the rest of those.
They smell so good.
Damn.
I've been
You're
known to
just
just stand there and just be like just eating hot dogs. Just so you know. You got to wait them out. You wait them out, and it's worth it.
Dotsa, do you have any real
Ridiculous.
questions?
Yeah, we've got a real question for you. Teddy says, you always seem to be in different places. Are you also playing shows when you travel, or is it more for personal reasons?
This trip is for a show, but it got extended because the show date got changed. So I just decided to stay here for a really long time because I was able to stream from the Lux studio. So it's just like a lucky situation. So I can just do the same thing that I do in real life at home here. And then different places. I think this is the first travel that I've done since I started streaming, other than Twitchcon. I haven't really left, but I have done a lot of IRL streams in weird places. So it may seem like I'm in different places, like in San Francisco or in LA. I streamed from LA, streamed from Long Beach, streamed on the drive. But I didn't really leave California. I didn't leave the country for a long time.
Yeah, it's really fun for me, like to see like when you stream with the Luck now. Like anytime streamers get together, it's just it's so fun.
It's so fun.
It
The
doesn't have to
retreat,
be a huge-
watching the retreat was so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't. But that's what I mean, though. Like the big ones, but when it's just like two streamers together, it's so cool, like to see that interaction, and it's just fun.
Yeah, collabs are super fun.
Yeah.
I've loved doing them. How tall am I? I'm 5'10", score an MG.
Okay, so where can we find you on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Vero, wherever
Vero.
you are?
Is it Vero
Snapchat.
or Vero? I was saying Vero.
I don't
think.
know, but
And,
Are you guys gonna make one?
I did.
I
but
don't know, maybe.
me and my wife's phones are connected, so if I download an app, I guess like it'll pop up on hers somehow. So we were sitting on the couch and she's like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's like a new thing. She's like, do I need it? I'm like, no, you're probably not going to use it. But I did make one. It is cool. It's very.
Oh, you did make one.
Yeah, it looks.
What's your
cool.
handle?
Just Dan Drumstone. But it
Yeah.
it looks cool, and it does seem. I don't know if it's going to catch on though, because Twitter and everything now is just so easy to find people. I feel like I can't find people unless I actually like search for them. And I think we're just at that point where that's annoying. So we're not going to do it, you know? Like Twitter's like, oh, here's all your friends. And you go, oh, cool. Follow. And if I had to type everyone in, I'd probably have no friends. Not that I don't like people, but that's a lot of work. But it is a cool idea. I think it is really neat. Maybe I'm just missing how to connect with people on it.
Okay. Oh, Teddy said, when I say travel, I base it on the background. So just like always in different places, not necessarily like far away from each other. I see. That makes sense, Teddy. I tried to stream for 30 days straight once, which I did, which turned into a lot of IRL streams just because I had to. So I streamed from like an opera rehearsal, from the grocery store, from like after a gig. Oh my, I got stream sniped by my mom. That was terrifying. She was so mad at me because she watches my stream. And it was after a gig, so it was like midnight, and I was just walking around the downtown area, and someone had put all these pianos out. Just, I don't know why. So I was playing a piano on the street, and it was kind of like bar hour. So there's a lot of drunk people around. So I didn't feel unsafe because I'm used to that kind of crowd. But my mom was watching it, and I do admit it looked very dodgy on camera. Like it was really dark, and people in stream were like, should you be out right now? And then my mom figured out where I was, and she like drove to me and stood behind me while I was streaming. And then like I turned around and she just started yelling at me, and I had to like, I was like, hold on, Mom. Oh, we're going to go host somebody right now. And she's like still yelling at me. And I was like, okay. And then I hosted somebody. I was like, and then I got in big trouble.
Yeah.
Then I deleted the VOD. I've deleted a lot of VODs.
It's okay.
That's awesome.
So where can we find you on social media?
Instagram is the same handle as Twitch, which is Tammy_BlackMedia in the title. Facebook I don't really use. I probably should, but I don't.
Yeah. What
else do I use? I have a website, tammybyerly.com. That's my name. But otherwise Twitch is the main place where I am. Twitch and Instagram.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Again, it's been awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are the best. If anyone gets sick and you want somebody to come
heck yeah,
fill in,
totally,
let me know.
Totally.